Well, it's Wales v England, Ben Davies v John McAllister, a battle of the world champions in the quarter-final. The winner of these, as Kev said earlier, will go on to face Mark Farnsworth in the second semi-final. So it's certainly a stacked field. It's a crazy field.
Yeah, this is actually a repeat of the World Semi-Final when Ben won it back in 2018, I think it was.
Yeah.
And I think going into that match, Ben would have been quite a clear favourite. So I think it shows how much John's improved. That if you had to pick someone to win this match, now you'd probably pick John.
I'm slightly surprised you want to bring up the 2018 World Championships and Ben Davies, because of course you certainly played your part in probably. It's one of the top two pool matches in history, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Is the 18 final between you and Ben.
It's also the only World Championships I got past the first round.
Is it really? Genuinely?
I think I might have got to the last 16 once, but I think, I've had some stinking draws over the years. I mean, literally, I've had like the best. Well, that year I drew Mark Boyle first round, and he was an amateur at the time. Literally, every single time I remember, I've played Yannick Bouffis, I've played Sean Story, I think I played Carl Morris, and these are all first round matches. So literally, I'm coming through as like number 4, number 5 seed, and then I'm getting like the top amateur who's played 3 or 4 matches. So I think one year I might have gone to maybe the last 16 possibly, but yeah, normally I lose first round.
And obviously, for this World Championships, this will be our first one on the BBC, so that'll be, I would imagine, a much greater audience to take the World Championships to. And
yeah, absolutely. Yeah, definitely. Hopefully I'll get a decent draw this time.
Well, we're back in the same venue as well. I had this conversation with Ben earlier. We're back in the. He said he's really looking forward to the Worlds because we're back in the venue where he won it.
That's right. I've only ever been there once actually, because I know we had a tour event there as well, and I wasn't able to make that event, so I've actually only been there once. So I've got a pretty good record in that venue.
Yeah, not bad. No. Not bad. Just the one loss.
Just the one loss. Yeah.
I mean, in fairness, I had just the one loss in the World Championships that year as well. So, I mean, you could argue our records are very similar. I'd say that. I got Scott Gillespie in the first round before the pros come in, so that was particularly harsh, I thought.
Yeah.
That was up there with your Mark Boyle draw, I think. John McAllister, though, is going about his work quite nicely. Looks as though he's going to take the first frame with some comfort.
He's played a great shot there, actually. I mean, that looked, the way he's obviously made it look very easy, but he had to get more or less straight on that shot. Especially if he was short, he would be a bit tricky, but now he's landed perfect. You can see now he's straight in on his last yellow as well, so he'll just stun this back and shot 2.
Yeah, it's an easy game, this, isn't it, really? When you're John McAllister.
It is when you land there, yeah.
Well, yeah, that's. I still think I'd find a way to mess it up.
Good finish that was.
It certainly was. Very, very nice finish indeed from the reigning world champion, John McAllister. He opens up a 1-frame lead. Our referee there, Ben Taylor Fuente, taking charge of this final, well, the last quarter-final, I should say. Final quarter-final, sounds a bit odd. Did you travel over with the rest of the Welsh contingent?
Yeah, we did. Yeah, we myself, Ben, Marsh, all on the same flight. Luckily, we weren't sitting on the same row.
That is a lot of talent on one plane.
It's a lot. I didn't think you were going to say talent then.
I wouldn't be so bold as to say what I think you were suggesting.
Bend the break.
Real sledgehammer of a break Ben Davies has. It's certainly one of the bigger weapons in his armoury.
He took quite a bit off that, though, to be honest. He didn't. I mean, he obviously hit them well, hit them hard, but he didn't give them the full beans. It's probably, first frame, the TV table normally breaks well anyway, because it's so reactive with the extra lights and everything on there. And first break as well, try and just get himself into the match. He's just taken maybe 10% off the break there, but he's hit them really well.
There will be a lot of people at home suggest, like, he'll listen to you going, yeah, he hasn't hit those that hard.
Oh, he's hit them hard, don't get me wrong. But
what are you on about?
Yeah,
but no, I know what you mean. When Ben Davies gives it everything, he gives it the full, like his entire body, every muscle in his body seems to go through the ball.
Yeah, he definitely took a bit off that, but I'd say he still hit them really well.
Time running.
Tricky finish here. I'm not really sure what he's gonna do.
He's certainly got some problems to negotiate. He's chosen yellows, but yeah, that area in the top right, I mean, there's none of those yellows surely going into that top right pocket.
No, I think because the middle one of the three in the balk area, that goes in the left hand corner, so he'd have liked to have dropped on that, but the angle he's left himself on the yellow in the middle, I don't think he can sort of get back for that. So he's probably going to pot this yellow in the bottom left and then play a cannon. He'd love to be able to sneak past it and bump the yellow from behind.
Yeah.
But I don't think he's got I don't think he can do that.
It's very tight, isn't it?
Yeah.
I think he's got to play it with more pace than that, and it will throw the cue ball a bit wider into the yellow.
But I don't think the yellow's coming out. Interesting to see what he does. I think he'll put something behind this now. Yeah.
Well, it could be a lot worse. He's got a shot here. I imagine he could take the left hand of the two yellows and screw back past it for the other yellow in the same pocket.
He can't get round in. No, he's going to have to come up the table. No, unfortunately, you can tell by his face he's not. He can't play that shot.
Just too much angle.
Yeah. I think from that position, I think
10 seconds.
He'd wanted to play it. Ideally, he wanted to play that can really, really hard, but he wanted to make sure he was on this bottom yellow as well. So he was sort of trying to play hard enough to move the yellow, but soft enough to hold the white.
Yeah.
So he was just in the middle of two shots really, but.
Well, he's going to have to play
he hasn't
one or two terrific positional shots from here to get out.
Yeah. I mean, he hasn't made a great shot there. If he'd got on these two yellows, it's quite a big target with those reds there to hold the white. But because he wants to play these bottom yellows first and then come back up then for the one in balk. But interesting to see what he does here.
Looks like a fair bit of check side on this.
He's tried to hold this. That's not bad. He might have played that actually.
If he has, it's a terrific shot from Ben Davies.
Yeah, he might have played that. I don't know. Hard to tell.
He's certainly giving John McAllister food for thought because there's nothing easy on here. There's not really an opening pot. I feel like John's going to have to play a safety of some kind. It's a bit negative, but he could just nudge the red across into the two yellows. He's not going to leave anything.
No, I think that could be the shot. I think the danger is with those four reds there, they're providing like a nice cushion for the white. So if Ben can get a chance, it's quite easy to play position on that yellow in balk, even though it looks like it's a really tough shot. I think John's going to try and sneak this red through.
That's clever.
Not bad.
It's a really good cue ball. My worry for John there is that he's left a big pocket for a double.
Yeah, I think if Ben can't see the yellow in the pocket, well, even if he can, I mean, it's probably worth playing. If he plays a double on the yellow and brings it down this end, I mean, he'd be unlucky not to at least cover the pocket. The problem being, he's going to be in all sorts of trouble next shot because John's going to put him right behind those four reds. So I think he's probably still wanting to go game.
Oh, that's not gone well.
No.
It wasn't great not being nice on that penultimate yellow. What's worse is tying the black up.
Cut it down, yeah.
He's trying to cover the pocket.
He hasn't played that very well. He was a bit careless. Well, no, he has got the bag in fairness, actually. But the way he got down and hit it, as if he didn't give it his full attention, but he has got the bag in the end.
Yeah, I don't think you could sneak the red past that. You might be able to. No. It's one of those, but
yeah, from the main camera, it looks like your camera. From the overhead, it looks like it won't go past.
Seconds.
We may be about to find out.
Yeah, doesn't look like it does from the overhead. Go past. Oh, yeah, it was a bad job by Ben. He should have made sure he covered the pocket there.
Yeah.
The
only good thing for Ben is he has given John a problem of his own because the black and red now are awkward. He's got to move that really.
Yeah, he'd have to be able to play a safety. I don't know whether he can play the top red, flick off the top red up to the snooker.
I think he can. He's gone for the cross double. I don't suppose he was too bothered if that went in or not.
I mean, the shot here now is to double the yellow and try and cover the pocket. But the problem is that he's going to be in all sorts of trouble if he leaves the white at the top end of the table.
Yeah.
I think Ben's got to. I think he's probably going to go for the double full blooded and screw the white back for his last yellow. Because if he leaves the white in balk, he's gone basically.
10 seconds.
Hold on to your hats.
Yeah, he's going to screw this back. He'll be close with this.
Oh, Ben
Great
Davies. That is magnificent.
Great shot. Told you to get close, didn't I?
You certainly did. That's a great call.
Yeah, I've seen him play before.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good shot.
That is wonderful from Ben Davies, but
I say it's a good shot. He's so disappointed they didn't get a good white, mind, because the good white was the easy bit.
yeah, he hasn't actually got into the cue ball, has he?
Not at all, no. Oh, that'll do. Not quite.
It's another
good
good
pass,
shot,
yeah.
but well,
Off the back rail, black up past the 3 reds in the corner.
I've seen some very good finishes from Ben Davies, but this would be well up there.
He's thinking if I don't think he does. The black might just go. It might be a natural angle for the black to go off the red in the middle.
Well, if you,
But I think. Let's see what he does here
well, that's going to be a foul.
now. Yeah.
Foul. 1 free shot, 1 visit.
We should explain if you are unfamiliar with the rules. He
Timeout.
didn't hit a red first or anything. You must hit a cushion after contact with the object ball.
Time running.
So Ben Davies came cushion first, hit the black, and nothing else hit a cushion afterwards. So that is a foul. And it's 1 free shot and 1 visit for John. So it's 1 shot to do whatever he likes with, apart from pot the black, I guess. And then he carries on with his route regardless. So whether that red had dropped in or not, it wouldn't matter. John would still be at the table, and he would still have what you have to say is an almost unmissable chance.
Yeah, John will probably come down now for the red and the other end of the table. And this will be 2-0. It's got a very long cue action as John. I'm surprised he doesn't mistime the ball more than he does. 'Cause actually, in fairness, he times the ball really, really well.
Yeah.
Some of the shots he plays, he really gets a lot of action with the cue ball. But it's so long, it's as if he almost quits on the shot all the time.
It's
but he
more
doesn't.
of it's more like the queuing action that you see in snooker, isn't it? Rather than pool. You see a little bit more short and a little bit more.
I don't know. It is long, but it's almost like an American pool cue action. To be
Really?
honest, I think it's really like I don't know. It's odd. But I say he times the ball really, really well. But looking at him, you'd expect him to mistime the ball more than he does. Because it's quite a lot of there's quite a lot of room between the cue and the white ball in times.
Yeah, it's certainly got a long bridge, hasn't he?
Yeah.
Frame 3. John McAllister the break.
He looks in pain, doesn't he?
He does a little bit, yeah.
Yeah. It's the weight of being world champion, that is.
I mean, I remember during the Champions Cup, he was suffering a little bit with back pain. He said it in an interview before one of his matches, and he took a bit off his break because of that. Now, whether it's flared up again or not, I don't know, but it certainly hasn't affected his break. Look at those.
No, he hit those really well. Again, he's timed that really well. I mean, he obviously they were split great. He hit them hard, but he hasn't given them full power.
Nope.
I think
10
on the TV table, that's probably the way to go. I mean, these tables, new cloth, the TV lighting, they break really well anyway. So sometimes if you do hit them really, really hard, there's no extra benefit.
Yeah.
Whereas John just seems to time them really well.
I hope I'm not putting you on the spot too much here, but for new viewers to the sport, what exactly do you mean by timing the break well? And
it's basically sort of just getting the maximum out of the white ball without actually sort of getting much noticeable action in your body, really. Yeah. I mean, you'll see John queuing up the ball, and you wouldn't know if he's hitting the white hard or soft.
Yeah.
From his body.
Sort of the smoothness of the action through the ball, then the cue through the ball.
And the acceleration of the cue, basically. So if he's hitting the ball hard, the cue will be going as fast as it can at the point he hits the white.
Yeah.
Whereas sometimes when we say people decelerate on the ball, well, that's exactly what they do. The cue decelerates before it hits the white, and then you don't get the same action.
That was a terrific positional shot there from John McAllister. Yeah. Just while we were chatting away, that really was a wonderful shot.
Yeah, that was an easy finish. He made it a bit difficult, and then see them there.
Well, that is a shocker.
I was going to say he'd rescued it, but he's played a bad shot there, hasn't he?
He'll be very, very disappointed at that. But who won't be is Ben Davies, because it's a great chance. He'll be coming to the table very pleased. It's a big difference between 2-1 and 3-0.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, so Ben needs to make sure he gets these because they're straightforward, but he just needs to make sure he gets a frame on the board. Yeah,
it's just slightly awkward, isn't it? This shot here needs a bit of care and attention.
You should just roll it. He's not bothered, obviously. Just whack it in.
It's just he makes the game look so easy when he pots like this. He just sort of wanders around the table and knocks them in, and it makes you wonder. I should probably stop talking. I'm sure there's plenty of people watching thinking that anyway, but
he did an awful shot there.
That is he's underhit that by some distance. Can he find any? Has he got anything on? Has he got a double on? Can he double the top one?
I think he can. Yeah. It's close.
Ooh, it's close, but no cigar.
No.
So one mistake each in this frame, but it's going to be John McAllister who makes the most of it in the end, because I put my house on these.
It's a big frame as well. 3-0. It's quite a nice lead.
Yeah. 3-frame lead seems. A 2-frame lead in pool for me is a little bit insignificant.
Yeah.
Because you're one dry break away from one good break, one dry break away from parity. But actually, a 3-frame lead means it's a little bit more difficult.
Yeah. I mean, especially as John's missed the chance as well, an easy chance to win the frame. It's sort of, you need to get that frame on the board with you.
Yeah, because John could be sat in his seat now thinking, I should be 3-0 up. He should be sat in his seat now thinking, I should be 3-0 up. And instead, it's Ben who's sat there going, I've got an opportunity that I really didn't expect, and I didn't take it.
Yeah, Ben hasn't really settled yet. I mean, he missed the, obviously the first frame, John broke and cleared. Second frame, Ben had a chance, and a couple of cans could have come out a bit nicer, but his white ball wasn't really where it was supposed to be. No. And then I'd set that frame there. He's played ended up in no man's land after a decent positional shot before.
Well, so far today we've had 3 quarter-finals. We've had Liam Dunster beating Drew Hughes 8-2. Craig Marsh coming through 8-7 final frame decider over Ryan Clark, and Mark Farnsworth 8-5 over Gav Robinson. I think it would be fair to say that so far all the favourites have won.
Yeah.
And I guess it's looking that way again.
Yeah, at the moment it is, definitely. I mean, as I say, you'd expect Ben to play better the further in the tournament he goes.
Yeah.
But this is his first match of today. I think he played 2 matches yesterday. So it's a
long wait, isn't it?
Yeah. If you haven't been playing a great deal, which I don't think he has, you're always prone to being a bit rusty first match, whereas I can imagine John plays quite a lot. So I think it's probably going to, the fact that this is his first match on, he's probably more likely to settle quicker.
Yeah, it's
Ooh. His feet.
Well, after the previous frame where he missed one in that pocket, I was sort of expecting that one to hang there as well.
I was as well, yeah. I think, definitely. I think John knew, well, he would have known that was effectively frame ball. I think although he's still got a bit of work to do, I think in his mind he'd have been saying, right, pot this, and I'm 4-0 up.
Yeah. And to be fair, well, I was going to say he should be, but he has looked up. He's rolled right up to that red with the cue ball. This is now. Oh, I mean, he's going to have to change his route, isn't he? He's going to have to take the long yellow next.
Yeah, drop this and then take the long one, which is okay. But it's just, I mean, it was a. Oh, he can take the other one, can he? You can drop this and he's okay.
Doesn't want to be behind that red. Doesn't want to be covered. Just about.
Okay.
If that hit that red a fraction fuller, he might have been in a bit of bother there.
I think he's still a bit straight, so you might still have to just stun this in and play the long one. But I think he'll be happy with that. He'll be fine with that.
Yeah, because at least he hasn't gone come back up table later on.
Yeah, otherwise he's able to pinch a bit of the pocket. He's played down to the right hand side of the pocket there just to create a bit of angle. So, he's gone from a sort of a 9 out of 10 yellow now to an 11 out of 10 yellow. Just come far enough.
I think so.
He's done.
I don't know. He's gurning away to himself.
Yeah, I don't think he has come far enough. But at the same time, I think he can turn over with a bit of side. But he just needs to make sure he runs the white through enough. You can see where he's pointing his cue there to make sure he's on the one in the middle.
10 seconds.
It looks on the overhead to me like flies in.
Yeah. No, it was just
He's just.
Yeah, he was just.
He's playing for the crowd, isn't he?
Yeah. He's trying to make problems.
Oh. Here, guys, look how difficult this is.
Yeah.
But it's not difficult. It's not difficult at all for John McAllister. He is showing every inch of why he is the world champion. He is leading by 4 frames to 0 against Ben Davies. And if this carries on like this could be a very, very quick match indeed. We've had a fair bit of action. Well, we've had all the action really today in the professional event, but we do have 3 other events going on. We've got the Open, the Amateur and the Ladies. All running at the moment, I think. The Amateur is getting down towards the final stage, and that will be broadcast tomorrow along with the Ladies final and the rest of the Open event. So we can see who's qualified. Well, we can see the qualifiers for the last 32 of the Open, can we? No.
Not yet. No, I would have thought the 64 is the round. I'm not sure if many qualifiers come through yet. I think they're still playing.
Yeah, there is a lot still happening in the group stages, so we may not have that information yet.
Because I think I'm on at 9:30 tonight. I'm not sure if I've got an opponent yet.
Ah, fair enough. I've already been knocked out, so you would know more than me, because
yeah. Hopefully, my opponent is seriously fatigued after a long day.
They may well be if they come through the loser's side. The way it's running this time, I think you've got to win about 5 matches to get through to the 64.
Good.
So
yeah, I hope they're all deciding frames as well.
Very kind of you.
Not at all.
Well, there's a collector's item for you. John McAllister, dry break.
Hit them perfect as well. It's funny, isn't it? I mean, he's hit those really, really well. White comes straight back, hit them flush. Nothing down.
Nothing down. So a chance for Ben Davies. How good a chance is this?
Can he play
red onto yellow?
Yeah, I mean, it's not a very if that he can't play that. It's not a very good chance.
The fact that he's not looking at it at all suggests to me that he feels like he can't. Yeah. I think the yellow might be the other red. It's awkward, isn't it?
Yeah, it is awkward. Yeah.
He's got to take yellows though. They've got control in the frame. At least if he gets a yellow, he can sort of work it out from there. But yeah, that top right corner is awkward for Ben. And it's sort of typical, isn't it? You're 4-0 down, your opponent does actually give you a sniff. It's a dry break.
Yeah, these frames. I got stung with this yesterday. I had loads of frames where I felt I had to go for the finish, when I didn't really want to. I didn't really have a safety, and then before you know, I'd lost 5 frames in a row. Kind of just, I basically had 5 half chances and I missed them all.
Do you feel like that's a bit of a reluctance to not play a half-blooded safety, if you know what I mean? Like, I think some players will just play a containing safety and let their opponent do the work.
Yeah, I mean, I was, because at the time I was ahead, so I mean, any excuse to play a safety I probably would have done.
Yeah.
But they didn't really fall like that yesterday. They were more like this, whereby, I mean, yeah, you could hang the pocket a year, I suppose, but I mean, I was in the situation basically where I felt I had to go for the finish, even though I was probably, as soon as I went for them, I was second favourite. I think I was just basically second favourite whatever I did. So, I mean, I think he
bit
could
like
have
how Ben might feel now then.
Yeah, I think he could have hung the bag there, in fairness, but
it's not who he is. That's not who Ben Davies is.
No, I know, yeah, but I mean, if I'm not sure if he can even pot that yellow at the top corner. If he gets, say, if he leaves the white sort of just below the black, could he even pot the yellow?
Maybe. I mean, might be able to throw it in with some side or something, but I'm with you. It's tight. Oh, he's gone for the long pot. It hasn't worked.
No.
He's left John it's a decent chance. It's not great. That yellow's still a bit. It's making life difficult for John. That's for sure.
In the end, that was quite a bad miss because I think he landed with the can he played. Otherwise, he wouldn't have been on the yellow. But the can he played was quite a good one.
Yeah.
And to miss the pot, I think he'd be disappointed with that. This is not easy though. It's there.
That's a lovely shot. It opens nearly everything out. He does still have the red just below the baulk line.
Yeah, he'll be looking now to see where the angle is to get that out, and he'd love to get out really early. I mean, because of the red in baulk as well, he's always got that to move the red or land on the red, land behind the red.
Yeah.
But he'd love to be in the situation whereby, say he can pot the yellow, for instance, and then suddenly he's got 5 reds in the middle of the table with no obstacles. But
I mean, arguably, he's got an angle now to either try the skill shot or to move the red.
Yeah, I think because the yellow's a bit away from the pocket, I'd probably try and move the red.
Yeah.
Unless you feel it's guaranteed to pot the yellow. But interesting to see what he does.
He's landing on it.
Oh, he's dropped on it.
Oh, it's a lovely shot.
Yeah, perfect.
It's really, there's a really delicate shot. It's a lot harder than it looks.
Yeah, it is, and it's one of those shots that if you say he didn't land on it, that might have been his chance over with.
Yeah.
He kind of had to land on it nice, really. But now that he has done, obviously he's a massive favourite.
Yeah, now it's just 4 straight pots, essentially. It
should be, yeah, especially if you can land on the bottom one in the same pocket. I'm assuming then that red pass. Well, maybe it doesn't actually. The red passes the yellow in the bottom corner.
It may well do.
Yeah, I think
it's a little tight, but I think it does.
You can tell by this shot now if he just stuns us in. Yeah, it does go. So he'll either pot this red and just play with the right hand side and bring the white up the middle of the table, or he'll spin it off 2 cushions. I'd probably spin it off 2 with a bit of left hand side.
Probably a bit too much angle to play the check side.
Possibly, yeah. It's just the way you want to play it, really. I mean, either shot is fine. People, if you're cutting the ball that way, you tend to want to play the shot run inside.
Yeah. Either way, it's on a sixpence, isn't it?
Yeah,
it's perfect.
Yeah. What he's done there is he's screwed back to purposely leave himself a bit more angle. If you could have just dropped it in, but then he's given himself more margin for basically he can pot this now, spin off 2 cushions, and what the white's doing is tracking along the line of the black. So I mean, it's simple. He would never have missed them anyway, but it's just it's a lot easier to land straight in on it.
Yeah.
Whereas if you had to just screw back, he would never have been straight, and then I mean.
So he's sort of drawn an imaginary line there, essentially, between the black and the last cushion.
Yeah.
And gone, right, I'm going down that line.
Yeah, because you've got so much more margin. Because you could literally overhit that shot by 4 foot and you'd still be on the black, straight in the corner.
Yeah.
Whereas if you tried to screw back and you overhit it by a foot, for example, then you in this situation, because the black was easy anyway, it wouldn't have mattered. But if you'd screw back, over screwed it by a foot, you might not have had a decent shot in the black.
Yeah, or it's a thin snick, or it just makes it missable.
Yeah, of course, yeah. And it's so simple. Why make it hard for yourself at the end of the day? And like in that situation, he was never going to miss anyway. But it's in the situations where you have to land nice on the black, or or the pressure situations where making those choices and sending the white on the line of the last ball will just make everything easier for you.
5 frames to nil. Time running.
It's fast approaching do or die time here for Ben Davies. You feel like he needs a good break here.
Yeah, he hit them hard. We noticed that he hit those harder than he did the first time, definitely.
He really got into those. Look at the reds.
Yeah.
He's got... Is he going to have to play a plant here? It's going to be the 2 reds that finish close together in the top right part of your screen at the moment. Top left here.
Yeah, he's definitely going to go. I mean, if I think that red to the right of that plant does go, and if it does, he might be able to just run it through and bump one of the reds. But
if that goes, could he land on the top of the 2?
We'll see what he does. So he could. No, he's playing the plant.
Yeah,
that's fine. I mean, if you land there, the plant's easy.
That's the thing.
There's a bit of distance behind them, but
if you're right behind it, it's not a problem, is it?
No.
As shown by Ben Davies. Just gets down and strikes it in. So for me now, really, the only thing that Ben's got to worry about is landing nicely on the black. It's a little bit awkward along the rail.
Yeah, he's sort of... There's yellows on the right-hand side. They've caused him a bit of a problem because he has to get back over to the left-hand side of the table for the other 2 reds.
Yeah.
So he's going to, as you can see, he's played a shot there now. So he's going to pot this red and then probably bump off the cushion in between the yellows and come across. See him play this shot now. Right off the side cushion and land there. It's a bit pacey.
It's either pacey or it's shorter pace, isn't it? He's in right in
between. On the
between.
top one, yeah. I mean, I think he can hold on the yellow, but now he'd love to be in the position where he could just know he's gonna have a nice angle on the red to drop on the black.
Yeah.
Because I think he's potting this red and can into the yellow near the middle pocket, which is fine to hold the white, but it might not sort of leave him nice on the red. I'm not sure as much he can do about it really.
Looks like he's screwing it, is he?
He's played that really, really well. I mean, that could have gone. If he doesn't hit that full, if he hits it on the right hand side, he probably goes onto the side cushion. If he hits it on the left hand side, he doesn't get the same angle to get on the black.
Yeah, certainly at the pace he played it at, he had to play it really well.
Yeah.
Which he did.
Yeah, he committed to the can and played it really well. Good finish in the end.
Yeah, a reverse dish for Ben Davies. He is, he's in the match. It's 5-1. He still needs a lot more to go his way. But, it's a, break dish. It's just nice to get on the board, really, isn't it? You don't want to be whitewashed. That's not nice for anyone.
No, he's had chances as well. I mean, you could probably have had... Well, the 6 frames, I mean, it could quite easily be 3-all.
Yeah. Yeah, you could certainly make an argument. I think 4-2 definitely. I would expect Ben to take one of the chances that he didn't.
Yeah.
But both of them might have been a stretch. Whereas John has had relatively simple chances when he's come to the table.
Yeah, definitely, yeah.
John McAllister the break. Leading 5 frames to 1. Time running.
Now those haven't broken apart quite as well as John would have liked.
No, and these yellows look good.
Yeah.
That yellow on the top of the table looks like it passes the red into the top right-hand corner.
We haven't had too many big momentum shifts so far this weekend, and I just wonder if Ben Davies takes these out and break dishes the next one, whether we might be seeing the first one, because for those who don't normally watch that much pool or don't, it's hard to explain, isn't it, how often comebacks happen.
Yeah.
You see Ben Davies here is 5-0 down to the world champion. You think, well, that's done, but it isn't.
No, not at all. It's I say that the standard sort of these days is people just break finish all the time. So I mean, you miss one chance, or you get a couple of breaks that don't split, or you don't pot for the break, and You can easily lose 4 or 5 frames doing nothing wrong. And obviously, once that happens, then it just puts more pressure on you.
Yeah.
And then you might actually start missing even when you do get a chance.
Well, that's one of the things you're famous for, isn't it? The other way round. You're the beneficiary of that.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Simon the Boomerang Ward.
Yeah.
It's, did that nickname come from a specific match or a series of matches where it just kept happening? Or?
Yeah, it was probably a series. I would have thought. I can remember quite a few over the years which have happened like that. And I mean, ultimately, you just stick in there. And the way I see it, I mean, if you're 6-0 down to someone, and especially if you haven't done a great deal wrong, it could easily change and you could win the next 6 frames. And at that point, say you're playing versus 7 and you're 6-1 down, for example, and especially if you haven't done a great deal wrong. I mean, if the luck changes and you can win the next 5, suddenly you're 6-all, but you're massive favourite because you've got the momentum and the guy in the chair. So it's, although you're behind, you can try and turn to your advantage on times. It's really difficult though. I mean, they say the guys are so good at Britain and clearing now.
You don't feel like you're as much of an advantage.
It doesn't happen as much because ultimately the guys know. And they, I used to sneak up on people years ago, 10, 15 years ago. People would be like, "Oh, I'm 5-0 up versus 7. I can't lose this." Whereas now, people know that they need to serve. Just make sure that they finish the match off.
I mean, in some respects, it probably wasn't the best move to make your nickname one of your finishing moves.
What's he done there?
What on earth, Ben Davies? Yeah. Well, I felt like a momentum shift might have been in the water. I felt like Ben Davies might have been getting himself back into this match, but he has missed. It's a long black, but it's pretty routine, isn't it?
Oh yeah, that's a 9 out of 10. I mean, he was probably in the situation where he didn't. The bridge would have been too short if he had his hand on the table and a bit too long with his hand on the cushion. Looking back at the shot, but he should have just potted it basically.
Well, John McAllister will have the chance to get to 6. Can he take it? He's got a red on the right-hand side. He's already lined up playing that off the black into the centre. I think that's probably the shot. It's a clever shot because it gets rid of the difficult red and the black's not going to go anywhere.
No, that's right.
Too far.
Just trying to think of a nickname that I should have had, really.
I mean, don't get me wrong.
The Twitcher would have been good one. I think that would have worked for a while.
I think Boomerang is absolutely one of my favourite nicknames. I think it's superb, but I think you've sort of advertised your strength there, which isn't necessarily the best idea.
Yeah, I suppose. Yeah, I think I'll start calling myself the Twitcher.
Yeah,
it's a bit more relevant now as well, I think. John would have liked to have played the red across the back rail. I'm not sure if he's going to do that now. Is he going to play the black off the red off the black now?
I think he might have to, But then he's got to put a bit more pace into it. He has made a bit of a mess of these.
You'd like to be a bit straight. I think he can pot this and screw back, but it's not guaranteed. Played it well. Yeah.
Just beautifully cued.
Yeah.
I guess the nice thing for John about playing it that way was at least he was covering it. Yeah. Although, having said that, that's an escape and pot of the black that you would actually expect Ben Davies to make.
Yeah. You definitely got close to it. Yeah. And there's a gap there as well, actually. So it's one of those shots that now, because he's played it really well, you think, oh, it's a shot to nothing. But it wasn't guaranteed.
No.
He wouldn't have been happy missing that even if he had snookered Ben.
No, I genuinely would have expected Ben to make that black off the sides. So, was an excellent shot from John. Back in prime position.
It's had to bounce. Bad one.
Yeah, a little short of pace.
Because it's a bad one because it could have been high. Anything but short, he's fine.
Yeah.
But
do you think he can avoid the black here? If he does avoid the black, he's going close to the centre, isn't he?
I think he's...
This is actually very awkward.
I think he's got to screw into the side rail and serve with a bit of the left-hand side and then bring the white down then for the black in the same bag. Like this. Oh, he's spinning round.
Oh, wow, he's gone a long, long way. This is perfect. What a great shot that is from John McAllister.
I'm not convinced he played it like that, mind, but he's ended up okay.
That's quite uncharitable of you, Simon.
I've played enough shots off 3 cushions to run inside in my time to know when you've when you've hit them well or not. I think he might have just tried to play that in the same pocket, but he's got a bit too much into it. But as you say, he's played it like that. Ultimately, he was bound to have a shot in the back.
Yeah. Yeah, as long as he avoided the pockets, really.
Yeah.
He was going to have a shot. And it was a good one, and he now leads by 6 frames to 1. And, well, it's going from bad to worse for Ben here. And you have to say, at this point, you know, we said it a couple of frames ago when it was 5-1. It could have been 3-all, it could have been 4-2.
Yeah, definitely.
You know, although John's been excellent, Ben's had his chances to cut this deficit, and he hasn't taken them.
Yeah, that was a big frame. I mean, that was 5-2 or 6-1. That's match on. You got to think now that something quite big has got to happen for Ben to win this match from here.
You certainly can't miss blacks like that against John McAllister.
No.
Ben's taking out some anger on the break, I think.
Yeah.
And well, it's worked for him. Look at that. He just hasn't got a nice starter here, has he?
No, and see that the reds they're all sitting there, but if he hasn't got a red on,
and he hasn't.
No, he's on nothing. He might have to be forced not to take the long yellow, I would have thought. Which is okay if it goes in, but I mean, it's not the kind of shot you want to take on a 6-1 down.
I mean, I guess there is an argument that the reds are better. Why not take on the long red? You've got the long red down the rail. I know it's a horribly tough shot, but if you miss this shot, whichever colour you go for, you're probably going to lose the frame.
Yeah.
So take the easier colour.
Oh, that well.
That's a great shot.
Played that really well.
It's so well worked out from Ben Davies.
Yeah.
Check this out. Off the cushion, off the black.
Great shot.
It really is.
Yeah. Clever as well because the red was there. If he hit the black thinner, the red would have come into play and it was still going in. So it was a great shot, but it was more seeing the shot rather than actually the playing it because he had quite a bit of margin for error. As long as he didn't hit the black too thick, I think the yellow was always going in. I would have just tried to pop the ball, but it was one of those shots he's played knowing that he's as long as he plays it okay.
That's not great.
No, it's terrible.
I don't really understand why. Well, he's shaking his head. I'm not sure. I'm not exactly sure what he's played there. I felt like he was going to play for the one on the left-hand side, and then screw back. But
I think he just tried to stand in and then play the yellow in the middle and screw across. But he's just completely. It's funny because the white is so reactive on that table, so it can catch you out. And I say this is Ben's first match today now, so and he obviously hasn't settled really. This is not the kind of shot you want to play at 6-1 down.
This is not the kind of shot I want to play at all. This is, if this goes in, it will be a very, very impressive shot, and if he gets position, it's even better.
Not quite there.
No, I mean he was just trying to leave a long black, wasn't he? And
yeah, he played it well. Played the shot the right way, basically, just 100% in the pot, knowing he was going to be on the black.
So we may be looking at a combination shot of some kind here. John can pot a red and pot the yellow in the same shot. He could just play a safety.
Yeah, I think the combination is quite easy off the red in the middle. He can pot the red long, then pot the red on the rail, and then on the right hand side, and then play the combination. The only problem being, I suppose, is that he's probably not going to be on a red next, and then the black's quite close to the pocket, so it might be hard to play a safety. Let's see how he does here now.
Yeah, there's the first one you suggested.
Yeah, so I think if he pots this red on the rail and then plays the red in the middle and goes into it, you can either 100% on the skill shot and send the white into the yellow, or you can play a more riskier one, which is send the white into the red, and then he's obviously guaranteed another shot then with the red on the pocket.
Yeah, I guess if you send the white into the red with a bit of pace. Oh, he's playing safety.
Yeah, he is, yeah. I mean, it was tricky because I don't think if he didn't have a nice shot after the skill shot was played. So
No.
Problem being with the yellow on the pocket, I mean, Ben's got to hit it, hasn't he?
Ben knows his angles, though.
Yeah. I mean, I fancy to pot the yellow. I just don't fancy to get the black because I think whatever happens, the white's going to be in the jaws of that pocket.
I just wonder if Ben can hit this in a way where he pots the yellow and leaves the cue ball roughly in the jaws. Is it going to be a big pocket for a double?
It is, but we'll see now. He's got it.
He's got it. He's got it. Oh my word! How's that not gone in?
That's probably better, actually.
Yeah, I mean, John's tapped the table.
Yeah.
Let's have another look at this.
Yeah. You would have had the double back, but it's it's a tough shot.
I mean, John could take this on. He's on the red that's a problem for him now.
I think he's going to have to. I think.
Yeah. Well, it's a good pot, but
Oh dear.
he's he wanted the cue ball to come out of that in some way, shape or form, because now he's queuing over the yellow whichever way he goes, and this is awkward.
I don't know whether he plays the more natural red into the top right, or he cuts the red back into the top left.
10 seconds.
I think he's playing the one in the top right.
He is.
Great shot.
What a shot that is.
Yeah,
Queuing
shot.
right over the yellow. That is brilliant from John McAllister, and that has been the difference in this match, to be honest. John McAllister's come up with the big shots when he's needed to, and Ben hasn't. Although, I say that, he's got at least one more good one to play.
10 seconds.
Yeah, so it'll be interesting to see what he does here now, because I mean, he'd love to just be able to just drag this in with lots of left-hand side into the middle pocket and then bring the white round. But I think he's going to round off a couple of cushions. I think it's a bit too thin to play that shot. So I think he's not going to have 4 cushions here. Here we go. He needs to watch the black. 1. Oh, he's come to check it.
Oh.
2 cushions.
Oh, that's superb.
And he's taken the black out of the equation there, because if he'd have run off 4 cushions, I think if he kisses the black, he's got no shot. But he's played it really well. Played it with a good pace as well.
Yeah, I mean, it can't be understated how difficult it is to play at that pace, at that distance, with that much side.
Yeah. He could easily land on the back rail.
Yeah,
because that kind of shot, he's got to judge the pace really well.
You've got to be so accurate, and accurate is exactly what John McAllister is. And he is now 1 frame from victory. He leads Ben Davies by 7 frames to 1. And I don't think that's a scoreline that anyone saw coming. To be fair to Ben, he got out of that snooker. You said it might be better, and I saw what you were saying, but yeah.
I think he should have taken the chance. The fact that the VL didn't drop, I think it was more that he should have taken the chance in the first place, really, from his point of view.
Yeah, precisely.
Frame 9. John McAllister to break, leading 7 frames to 1. Time running.
What a break from John McAllister.
Flattered them, hasn't he?
Oh, these are gone, aren't they? I mean, Ben might as well put his cue away, surely.
It's funny, actually, because he's hit those really badly. I mean, he's hit the top one half ball, and they split really, really well. I mean, that's what happens sometimes.
Yeah.
This is this is the kind of chance you want for the match, really. I mean, it's not guaranteed, but I mean, you'd fancy these. Or they're all in the middle of the table, as long as he can mind his white.
He can go either way here, really, can't he? He's got a yellow or a red to start with.
The red's a better spread, but obviously the yellow on the pocket is causing him problems. But the yellows are, he's going reds.
Is he actually going for a skilly here?
No, he's just going to drop on the red in the same pocket.
Suppose that gets rid of it.
Ooh, he's hit that bit. You can see because he hit that into his face there. He's hit that into the side of the pocket, and the white, the white should have been another 2 inches further forward than that.
Yeah, there was a bit of a purse of the lips and a puff of the cheek from John McAllister, but he's got away with it. Certainly wasn't in the heart of the pocket.
No, the white's going to run a bit. I wonder if you can just kill the white. Yeah. He's just played a little cannon on that red just to hold the white.
He's just got to be a bit careful getting on the back now, I suppose. The natural pocket is the bottom right, but that's obviously not going to happen.
No, I think because he's nudged the red by the middle. I mean, that could be his last ball now. It was never going to be, but it could be. I think as he can leave that to the last, then stun the white across for the black in the left corner. We'll see what he does here now. I mean, he's nice on both of them. I'm not really sure what he's played on.
It's quite expansive, that shot, isn't
was,
it?
Yeah. Yes, I would. That's probably something I would have done, but I would have ended up with the white somewhere in the jaws of some pocket on the
somewhere just in between those two yellows.
Yeah, basically, yeah. Or maybe on table 15.
He's gone into that, that's for sure.
I mean, as it turns out, he's going to be... The red he's going to play last would have been his last ball originally, funnily enough.
Yeah.
So he's going to pot this now, bring the white across towards the two yellows, and then you can just play a natural thin snick then on the last red across the back and send the white down.
Ooh, doesn't want to be too straight.
I mean, I wouldn't have played the shot like that because he's played low on it to stun down rather than playing high. I mean, he's perfect, but it's just a bit more risky, really. But yeah, he's nailed it at the end of the day.
There was really only sort of half an inch between where he was and in a real horrible spot. But either way, he was perfect, and John McAllister has put in a near perfect performance. He beats Ben Davies by 8 frames to 1. And you have to say, Simon, that's a bit of a thrashing.
Yeah, Ben never really settled. I mean, John was solid all the way through, wasn't he? Ben had chances. It could have been a lot closer. But yeah, John played really well.
Yeah, a great performance from John. And, well, what a semi-final that will be, because that's going to be John McAllister, Mark Farnsworth. And arguably that is the match at the moment. That's the two form players probably. But first up we will have another semi-final for you. And the first of the semi-finals, it's another belter. It's Dunster v Marsh. And that will be coming up after Kev Barton has had a word with John McAllister.
Thanks for joining us down in the arena, and the semi-final line is complete. John McAllister takes place in that semi-final job. I think at the start of this match anyone would have thought an 8-1 scoreline. Tell us your thoughts on the match.
Yeah, I don't know. Easy finishes for him, to be fair. So I was luckily I could sort of punish his mistakes in the end. But yeah, really happy with that performance as well.
So it's another big event, another semi-final. You must be delighted the way things are going.
Just got to take one game at a time, see if there looks for you. If it continues like that, then it should be okay, but you never know.
Okay, just a little technical itch there. But obviously, semi-final time again, and it doesn't get any easier. Mark Farnsworth in the semi-final. 2 world champions again. You know, it looks like you've just got to beat world champions to win a title these days. Give us your thoughts on that match.
Yeah, that just shows the quality of the field, doesn't it? You're going to run into any top player every round, to be fair. So there's no easy rounds, especially when you get to this stage of a big event like this as well. So just carry on with that performance and see what happens.
Any thoughts of obviously I don't think you'll look too far ahead, but you know it could be a repeat of you and Liam and that fantastic final that we saw not so many weeks ago. Is that something that's in the back of your mind?
You just got to take one game at a time. You can't look ahead in this format and this standard as well, especially against a player like Mark. It's you just got to take one game at a time and then hope you perform.
Okay, well played, John, and we'll see you in the semi-finals later on.